I had a really enlightening experience today. I went into a shop that sold photo gear and met one guy that was extremely passionate about what he was doing, and it inspired me to do this video because, as some of you know, I'm not able to do a great extent of sound anymore because of specific reasons. And my new passion is to make these videos. And he told he was a very experienced video photographer, and he's been working on the sound bit for the last year or so, and he had a few interesting views about that. He launched an idea of that he didn't like certain kind of microphones because of their sound. And I had to tell him that it's probably not the sound of the microphone you don't like, it's probably the wrong kind of microphone. What I was thinking of is that I've been to a couple of places where the engineers working with, for example, a folk-based band, and they tried to make the drums sound like Metallica. I mean, this is so wrong in so many different levels that I can't even begin to explain how wrong it is. What I really want to emphasize is that you really have to learn different musical styles. So a Greek folk band shouldn't sound like a heavy metal band, that's for sure. Learn your musical genres or styles. That's very important. Learn different instruments and how they behave. Recognize your microphones and read the specs, or at least try to figure out what mic works well on this and this instrument. I can tell you about the scenario where the song I didn't really know the difference between a ukulele and a guitar. To him, it just looks the same, and I mean, okay, he was quite young, but still, it's a drastic example of things, and he knew I was a sound guy, and what kind of microphone do you think I should use? I don't think this sounds good. No, let's have a look in the break, and on a ukulele he used directly in the sound hole, as close as possible, an SM57, and yeah, didn't sound very convincing. So, well, that's we tried to correct it, and he done a lot of mistakes all the way around. So, but he was willing to learn about this, so he's forgiven in my book. There is a somewhat accepted illusion that the old stuff is much better than new stuff. I'm talking now about microphones and stuff like that. Well, they sound different, that's for sure. But it's just not true that it's better, because now I'm talking about a little bit more well-built high-end stuff. Today's technology will always be superior of yesterday's technology. That's just how it goes. And there is a few quirks on all the stuff that's appealing to you, maybe, and good, but it doesn't mean that the stuff is better. It's not, because what they build now is to the, I don't know, I mean, the tolerances are very low. And take the car industry, for instance. I mean, okay, everybody loves the 50s kind of car, but the maintenance on that one gonna far surpass the maintenance of a new car, for instance. That if you have a fascination for old stuff, that's okay, but don't tell people it's better, because it's just not. That's not true. I mean, it wouldn't be an industry if that was the case. Some things are different, some things feel a little bit more rugged, a little better, etc. But technically speaking, it's not better. I get a little annoyed with this statement, because it's just not true. And they drag up these microphones from the 50s. I mean, the noise floor on these things are horrendous. It's very difficult to use in modern context if you don't really know what you're doing. And this is another aspect that most people have never heard this kind of gear. They just assume it's better. They never work with it. And I can tell you that I have worked with a lot of it, and they all sound a little different. They all sound quite good, but they are a little different. Why should you spend thousands more on a vintage piece of gear that you actually don't need? You could have, for a fraction of the price, you can have a better new version. But people like to think that this is the way to go, so okay, go that way. It's not my problem that you're gonna use all this money on this. But still, some technologies are a little bit far ahead of us. But if you stick to middle of the road technology that is tried and tested and refined during the years, you'll be safe. You'll be very safe. It's gonna sound good, it's gonna behave good, it's gonna last, and that's the most important. So if somebody says they don't like the sound of this kind of, that kind of, I mean, okay. You maybe don't like the sound of it, but like a PA system, it's mainly due to different philosophies and due to different tuning techniques. Most of this stuff sounds very, very good. It's just it sounds a little different. If you can make it sound good, you probably use it wrong. That's I got to the conclusion today. I'm using a simple thing like a camera stand. I'm not using the right head for it. That's why I never get satisfied. You know, I always get in squeak noises and shit. That's because he told the guy in the shop, told me, I mean, but you're using the wrong kind of head on this stand. The stand is okay, but you need another head, a video head, which is made for video cameras. Doesn't make any noises when you turn them. I might be stupid, but I did not know that. In a normal shop, they try to sell you whatever kind of stand they have. But this guy tells me that there is something wrong with your stand in the way you want to use it. But there's nothing wrong with it if you want to use it as a photographer. It's perfectly fine. But for video, it's useless. Thank you. I didn't know that, and the guy that sold this stand in the first place didn't know that, so there's nothing wrong with the stand. I think it was a shitty stand. It's something wrong with me. I didn't seek the right information in the right place. So that's what's actually wrong. So same goes in audio gear. It's very, very dangerous to say that this piece of gear is it doesn't work. It's shit. It's not always the case, because the point is that you actually don't use it in the correct way. That's why it doesn't work. So I'll leave it with that, and you can draw your own conclusions. And yeah. No, it's not much more to say about it actually. So to wrap up this episode, I'm gonna just tell you to stick to your mics and grab one and go out and record some stuff. That's all.